Alright, what's up everybody? I'm back with another video. It's that time of year again, folks. Happy March Madness. And that means it's bracket times. Today, it's going to be two videos. Today we are I'm filling out a bracket for the men's tournament since that one's starting earlier. And then tomorrow, as you can see by the tab that I have opened up here, I will be filling out one for the women's tournament too. That I'll do its own video for. So that should be pretty fun. Because I like filling out brackets. I'm going to fill out a lot of brackets this year. And as you guys will see, we'll fill out, or at least I'm intending on us filling out a bracket on Live Laugh Left on Wednesday. And yes, there will be a Live Laugh Left episode on Wednesday. We should have had one last week, but Garry was busy. And we're going to try and have one for the next few weeks at least. But without further ado, there's a lot of picks to make. So we're gonna get right into it. I'm doing the ESPN one only because I wanted to just do the quick link through CBB Cord for their challenge. But we will be running a bracket chat. We are actually running a bracket challenge on our server, Rails and Company. Go check that out. Link is in the bio of the channel. You can enter for both men's and women's. So I would recommend going through that. But I just did a quickie one for CBB Core. And then I'll fill out my ones for our bracket challenge tomorrow, probably. Or today, the time this going up. We're going to go through each game. Obviously, I'm going to pick who's going to win, and then we get to, do the thing. You know how brackets work around here. So, here we go. We're going to start in the order that they released. Well, now we're going to go left down, right down. Can enter to go to Vegas? Shit. I want to go to Vegas. 72-ounce steak challenge, anybody? That's in Texas, not Vegas. I'm talking about Heart Attack Grill, actually. Anyway, let's get back to Storms. Easy upset, or easy win there. Duke might win the whole thing. Because they're Duke. And they're going to get every foul call. And Sienna, if you win, that'd be awesome. But I don't think it will happen. So, picking Duke to win that one. Ohio State, TCU, probably pretty good. I think Ohio State will win. They're playing pretty good down the stretch. Bruce Thornton's awesome. And I think that'll be the X factor in that one. But I think it would be really funny if Ohio State lost, because I hate them. But I don't see that happening. There are a few 5-12 potential upsets this year. But St. John's, Northern Iowa is not one of them. I think St. John's will win that game pretty handily. Kansas has been rocky this year. This was not an easy 4-seed year for Kansas at all. They were unranked for a good amount of the season, but they pulled through, and I think they're going to take that one there. Louisville, South Florida, this could be an upset. It's a low possibility, not a no possibility, though. I don't see it happening. Easy. Not going to be an easy win for Louisville, I don't think, but I think it will be a win. And then, of course, did you guys really expect anything different there? I have to say, I haven't made a video on how badly MSU has performed the last few weeks, but they've been averaging giving up almost 90 points a game, which is bad. They're like, this is the opposite of how Tom Izzo teams usually go. They're like, they had a really good start to the season, and they're like getting bad at the wrong time. Not good. How about fucking 88 points to UCLA because you couldn't fucking stop double teaming? So hopefully they get it figured out and don't get upset by North Dakota State this year. I think play Louisville. Speaking of UCLA, they are on upset alert against UCF. This would be a good game. But I am going to take UCLA here. And UConn, for how rocky they've been this year, I am going to take them too. But I think they will struggle. I don't think they'll lose, but I think they will struggle because It looked a little rocky down the stretch. Florida got blown the fuck out the last time they played, but I don't think that'll happen here. I think they're going to win that one. Now here's an interesting game. Clemson and Iowa. An 8-9 matchup. I'm going to take Iowa on this one. Iowa is one of the best defenses in the country, and Clemson has been up and down this year. So I think I'm going to take them. Vanderbilt, McNeese, another 5. This is the other 5-12 that I'm not super high on an upset. I think Vanderbilt's been playing really, really well. Played really, really well in the SEC tournament up until the championship. I think they'll carry over to a first-round win there. Now, here's a good game. Folks, this might, on paper, look like an easy pick to take Nebraska. But you have to remember, Nebraska's never won an NCAA tournament game. Never, ever. But it's against Troy. Now, Troy's not that good. They did win their conference tournament to get in. But I don't think that Troy's going to have what it takes. This, though, is going to be a very close game because Nebraska needs to answer to the pressure. And they need to do what they do best. They laid a giant egg against Purdue, the Big Ten tournament. So they're not coming in with very high mojo. But this is a chance to really put that exclamation point on what's been a really, really historic season for Nebraska. And that's why, folks, I'm taking Troy. Because I think Nebraska's overrated as fuck. They had a hot streak with an easy schedule. And I think they're coming back to reality. They are 6-6 since their undefeated start, folks. 6-6. One more loss and it'll be 6-7. North Carolina VCU. This could be an upset because North Carolina is injured. They lost their star player for the season. And VCU won their conference tournament. They don't have that bad of a record. So that in mind, I'm actually going to take VCU in the first round here. Now, this is a funny matchup as well. You cannot tell me, we're going to talk about this on the podcast too. You cannot tell me that the NCAA selection committee does not, like, their first priority is not, like, objectively who should be where. It's about what the best matchup is going to be. What's the best storyline? What's going to get the most ratings? All that sort of stuff. They're being fucking railed in the ass with pocket money from the fucking NCAA to do this shit. You cannot tell me that it was not intentional to put Penn, coached by Fran McCaffrey, up against a Big Ten opponent in Illinois. You cannot tell me that that is intentional. Or unintentional. I hate Fran McCaffrey. I'm taking Illinois. But I think that'll be a close game. I hate Illinois. I think Brad Underwood is an extremely overrated coach. And I would not be surprised if Illinois loses this game. But Fran McCaffrey is even more overrated. And he's not that good at Penn. He's really not that good of a coach. So I don't think he's going to win. But it's going to be a closer game than most people think. St. Mary's, Texas A&M. I'm going to take St. Mary's because fuck Texas A&M. Overrated fucking school. Shouldn't even been in the tournament. But that'll be another close game, I think. And Utah, or Idaho, I think we'll get blown the fuck out by Houston. All right, move up to the other side of the bracket now. Arizona, taking out Long Island. Don't think that'll be close. Villanova, Utah State. That should be a good game. Specifically because this is in the West Coast. And I think I'm going to favor Utah State here. Wisconsin, High Point. Not going to be a pretty popular choice. I'm taking High Point. Wisconsin is a very boom or bust type team. They rely very heavily on the three. And I honestly don't think Greg Gard is that great of a coach. And High Point has a really good record. So I think they're going to pull off this upset. I'm going to take Arkansas over Hawaii. Would not be surprised if John Calipari blows it again in the first round, despite winning the SEC tournament. But I don't think they will have too much of a problem against Hawaii. Taking another upset here, BYU losing to either the winner of Texas or NC State. Personally, I think NC State's going to pull it out just because I think it'd be really, really funny to see Trey Hallman go on a run, but I would also not be surprised if Texas wins this game. Either way, BYU is very beat up. They lost their star for the season, so they've been kind of ass since that happened. They were looking to possibly be in a top 3 seed before that. They're 6 now. So I'm going to take the winner of the Texas-NC State game to do that. Also because they'll have a game under their belts in the tournament already, and I think that'll be a big deciding factor. Gonzaga being Kennesaw State, not that much of a problem. Miami versus Missouri. This will be another good game. Missouri's getting hot at the right time. Miami has a pretty good record, despite only being a 7 seed. I'm going to take Missouri, though. I'm going to take Missouri in that one because they are getting good at the right time. And I think Purdue is way too overrated as a 2 seed, but I still think they're going to win that first game against Queens. I think, honestly, Purdue, I think, was around the 4 line. I think they should have been a 4 seed. This is the weakest Purdue has looked in years, and they still won the Big Ten tournament, but that was a farce. Michigan. Audio cut out there for a second. Michigan won't have any problems because it's Michigan. They don't ever face any consequences for their actions, even though they cheat all the fucking time. I'm going to pick St. Louis to beat Georgia. I think St. Louis is a much better team here. They've been playing really, really good lately. Georgia's a solid team, but not anything crazy. I think St. Louis there. Here's another upset, baby. The MAC, a 2-bid conference for the first time ever, I believe. On Texas Tech, another team that's coming in very, very injured. They've lost JT Toppin for the season. Akron won the MAC this year, the MAC tournament at least. So I think they've got a good shot to pull off a big upset there with Texas Tech. Though, honestly, with how Texas Tech has been injured, wouldn't be that big of an upset. I'm going to take Alabama over Hofstra. Now, here we go. Okay. When they announced on the selection show that Miami, Ohio was the lowest, like the final, at-large bid. Really? 31-1? I don't care that they have a weak schedule. All things considered, they still went 31-1. Right? And you're telling me the best that you could do was put them in an 11 seed play-in game with SMU? Yet Auburn at 17-16 was being considered on the bubble? How much money was Bruce Pearl giving you to keep them on the bubble? Seriously. Taking Miami, Ohio to beat Tennessee, and I'm picking Miami, Ohio to win that game. They should. If they blow it, that'd be very disappointing. It would only reinforce CBS and the NCAA to not take teams like them in the future, and they would put Auburn in at 500. But I stand my case. Fuck the committee for almost keeping Miami, Ohio at 31-1 out of the NCAA tournament. Take Virginia to beat Wright State. Kentucky to beat Santa Clara, even though I think that will be a close game. And Iowa State to beat Tennessee State. All right, that is the entire first round. On to round 2. It'd be extremely funny if Bruce Thornton beat Duke to keep his miracle Ohio State run alive. I don't think that'll happen, though. Duke, again, gets every fucking call in the book. They make every shot. They do whatever it's necessary to win games. St. John's versus Kansas. Rick Pitino versus Bill Self. This will be a really good game. I'm going to pick Kansas to win it, though. And then, of course, I'm picking us to beat Louisville. Because, of course. And then I'm going to pick UConn to beat UCLA. Though I think it'd be really funny if UCLA won. They're beat up. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't even make it past that first game. But they're really beat up. I don't really see them doing a whole lot. As it is. Taking Florida to beat Iowa. I'm going to take Vanderbilt over Troy. I'm going to take VCU over Illinois. This is going to be another tough one. But again, like I said, Brad Underwood, very overrated coach. He cannot close out a game to save his life, especially in a big moment like this. So that's why I'm picking him to lose. Then I got Houston over St. Mary's. Arizona over Utah State. Easy one there. Arkansas over High Point. Easy one there. This could be an upset. Texas or NC State over Gonzaga. I'm not going to pick it as such, though. I'm going to take Gonzaga. Upset, baby. I am taking Missouri over Purdue because, again, Purdue is not very good this year. They are weak this year. And Missouri, again, playing good at the right time. Could see an upset there. Taking Missouri. As funny as this would be for Michigan to lose, they're not. As funny as it would be for Akron to win this game, they're not. Now, here's another potential one. This could be a conference matchup if SMU pulls off the win against Miami, Ohio, but I don't think they will. But do I think Miami, Ohio, for everything they've done this year, they would have pulled off the upset over Tennessee? Could they pull off another one against Virginia? There's been a very, very good, much of a sleeper team this year. Could they beat Virginia? Yes. Fuck it, it's March. Why not? And then Iowa State over Kentucky. Again, like I said, I would not be surprised if Santa Clara even beats Kentucky. They are not that good this year. I'm going to take them still to win that first game, but Iowa State should handle them pretty good in that second game. Iowa State's a really good team this year. Oh, right. That's the second round complete. Sweet 16. Duke over Kansas. We're going to get revenge against UConn for the preseason loss in UConn. Considering that win. I'm going to take revenge game from the SEC tournament. Florida, I think, will beat Vanderbilt. VCU's Cinderella run comes to an end against Houston. Tight game here. I think Arizona will pull it out against Arkansas, though. Gonzaga, Missouri. This could be a Cinderella run right here from Missouri. Because Gonzaga's been an iffy team this year. And really, they are overrated as fuck. So you know what? Let's take Missouri into the Elite Eight, shall we? And then I think, as much as I hate it, Michigan will beat Alabama. And then I think Miami, Ohio, Cinderella run comes to an end against Iowa State. Again, Iowa State, really good this year. Really, really good. All right. Now my final four choices. Who do I think is going to go to the Final Four? We're going to get revenge for that game in December with a win. I'm not delusional. I'm just a free thinker. Florida, Houston, this will be maybe the game of the century. Wow, there's a lot of good games, actually, in this round. This is a tough one. Let's go Houston. No, we're going to go Florida. That'd be a good game, though. Missouri's run comes to an end against Arizona. It's probably the easiest, well, second easiest pick here. Iowa State, Michigan. I hate Michigan. I don't want them anywhere near the Final Four. So I'm going to take Iowa State. That's a Big 12 matchup in the Final Four alongside MSU, Florida. Take us to beat Florida. 2000 National Championship repeat there. I also think Florida will barely squeak by this game. So that might help us going into that. I'm actually going to take Iowa. No. I second thought that one. Arizona over Iowa State. Then, of course, ladies and gentlemen, was there ever a debate about who was going to be my champion? You see it every year from me, guys. And it's true again this year. How many total points will be scored in the championship game? Let's go with 150. And am I going to enter the 2026 All-State Tourney Challenge Sweepstakes for a chance to win a $5,000 gift card? Man, you know how many amiibos I could buy with that? You agree ESPN might sell my info. As if they already don't. Enter 2026 Coors Light March Hoops Tourney Challenge Sweepstakes for a chance to win $30,000. Man, I could put a down payment on a house for that. Must be 21 plus and agree that ESPN will share my information as they already do. Coors Light, terrible fucking beer. Beer's terrible in general, but Coors Light's one of the worst. Be honest with you. Sorry. But I don't care. $30,000 is $30,000. But anyways, guys, that's my bracket. I'm never 100% correct. Nobody ever is. And I highly doubt this will be a correct bracket, but overall I do have a lot of educated picks in here. I did kind of stretch with some of the upsets, and then of course I always take MSU to win it all, even though we are probably not making it out of the first weekend because our defense sucks and we get off to very slow starts, and Tom Izzo still doesn't know how to beat his own defense. But maybe, just maybe, we'll figure it out this year. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it. What do you think of my bracket? Who are you picking to win in your brackets? I'm going to fill out multiple brackets, and MSU's not going to win it all in all of them. Some of them they will. Some of them they won't. Who's going to be your champion? What's your Final Four? Who do you think is going to win it all? Who are you rooting for? It doesn't have to be the same team. It really doesn't. You can have a team you're rooting for. Not necessarily think the team thinks going to win it all. For me, it's the same team. But you know what? Not always the case, and that's okay. Who do you think got snubbed from the NCAA tournament too? Anybody out there really want to go toe-to-toe with me and defend Auburn? Good. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Stay tuned for other much more amazing content. Like I said, tomorrow there's going to be a video coming out about the women's bracket. And then there'll be a Live, Laugh, Laugh episode where we'll talk more about the tournament and everything else. So, that being said, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Stay tuned for the much more amazing content. Until next time, see you guys later. Goodbye.